Women died in 2008. I was watching an M-Crafts video, and he was talking about how ever since social media really got big, like Facebook, Twitter, that's when women's values really started to like go down the drain. That's when they really started to become, extremely scandalous, extremely manipulative and shady. Not to say that they weren't before that, but it just multiplied the whole process by like 5 times. It just turned the volume up on it, way more once social media came out. And I found that very interesting, and I started thinking, I remembered women weren't really bisexual on the level that they are now until the show Jersey Shore came out. I remember when Jersey Shore came out and you have all the girls on Jersey Shore making out with each other. Suddenly, so many women I knew in my personal life were claiming to be bisexual. They're claiming to be into girls now. And it's like, wait a minute. I knew you 6 months ago and you weren't into girls. Now you're into girls. I remember ever since Jersey Shore came out, bisexuality became like the big thing for women, right? Because they're seeing that it's cool on TV, so they want to emulate it, right? And that's really the thing. All of this social media and these reality shows, it's all made for women. It's all made to erode women's values and turn them into little devious sluts and consumers. It's really not for us men. Media programming, it works on us, but it works on women 10 times. Women are way more impressionable by these Disney movies and by these reality shows than we are, right? So anyway, women died in 2008, right? Here's the thing. The reason, we as men, we have so much trouble these days finding a decent woman is because she's on Snapchat, she's on Instagram, she's on Tinder. Women these days are born into this culture. They're not born into the, find a good man, find an honest man and build with him. They're born into how many likes can I get, how many matches can I get. And when you have all that temptation around you at every turn, when you have 100 guys reaching out to you on Snapchat, women are more impressionable. Women are weaker-willed than men anyway. So you give a woman all this attention, and she's weaker-willed. She doesn't have the discipline a man has to resist certain temptations. Of course, it's like the perfect storm. It's like the perfect recipe for disaster. You know, here's the thing, right? I mean, like I said, back in the day, women didn't have a lot of these temptations. So if they're having a problem with their husband or whatever, they pretty much have to work it out with him, and then they get past it. If a woman wanted to cheat back in the day, she'd really have to make more of an effort to. But like I've had girls I'm dating, 6 months ago, a year ago, I'll be hanging out with them, and 100 guys are messaging them on Snapchat every day. Hey, send nudes. Hey, hit me up. Hey, when your boy, I've had girls that I'm dating, guys hit them up, and she'll say, hey, I have a boyfriend. And they'll say, okay, no problem. If he ever messes up, come see me. Like, if you ever get in a fight with him, come see me so I can bang you. And it's like, I get girls to delete their social medias, but they're so hooked on it. It's like a huge fight to even get them to delete their to delete their Snapchats or their Instagrams or whatever. All social media is an outlet for women to cheat on men and get attention from other men. That's all it is. So you have women these days, and they have all this temptation at every turn. Why should she be faithful? Why should she commit to a man? She's the more weak-willed sex anyway, and she's getting all this attention thrown at her. And of course it's destructive attention. It's going to destroy her in the long run, but she doesn't know that now. She just knows that she likes the attention. She doesn't realize that every single guy on there is straight up just trying to use and destroy her. She kind of knows it, but the good feeling she gets off of the attention kind of neutralizes that logic for her. So, post 2008, you see no women able to keep a man. You see no relationships lasting more than a couple months or a year or two. You see the divorce rate going up like crazy. It's pretty much impossible at this point, after 2008, for you to really keep a woman. And not only was she not brought up with the values she needs, but the temptation, like I said, is just so unreal at every twist and every turn. And they're coming out with new social media apps every day and new ways to brainwash and destroy these women. If you thought the Disney movies were bad enough, having a phone full of guys trying to hit her up on different apps 24/7, it's impossible, dude. I'd be hanging out with girls I'm dating, And literally every 5 minutes, a different guy's trying to hit them up, trying to bang them, giving them compliments. You know, if me and her get in a fight and we're not talking for a day or two, that's the perfect opening that these guys on Snapchat or Instagram need to work their way into her DMs. You know, they'll start talking to her, and I'm just going through some stuff with my boyfriend. Perfect. That's the perfect little predatory situation. And because of social media, it's easier for these guys to get into your woman's heads than it ever was before. You know, all you have to do is have a little fight with your girlfriend. She goes on Instagram. Some guy DMs her, hey, how you doing? She starts talking to him about how you two are having a little fight. He says, no problem. Why don't I come over and help you talk about this? She's like, oh, that's nice. This guy wants to, come help me with this problem. He comes over. They talk for like 15 minutes. One thing leads to another. He's banging her. You know, it's that easy these days. I've had so many girls that have boyfriends that say like, oh, I just want you to come over and we'll just talk. I'm going through this. Before you know it, I'm banging them, you know? A lot of them have boyfriends. Some of them had husbands. I've seen women with husbands. I've slept with women that have husbands that claim they're single and they actually have a husband. They just lie. They just hit me up on Tinder. Yeah, just come over. It's so easy for women to cheat these days. And women are dumb. They don't understand the damage they're going to do to themselves in the long term. You know, they just know what they're doing right now. And of course, the people who create these social media sites, they know that. They know women are dumb and are going to mess up in the moment and not going to learn until it's too late, you know. But by then, she's already become like a mass consumer and, pumped a lot of money into the economy and stuff like that. But that's a video for another topic. But the whole point is, like, dude, women just straight up died in 2008. There's no loyalty anymore. It's like I said, when she's got all this temptation around her at every twist and every turn, and she's the weaker sex. She has the two X chromosomes. She doesn't have the Y chromosome like you do. As men, we have the Y chromosome that, initiates logic and reasoning. Women have the X chromosome, which is emotion, and then they have two of them. So they have double the emotion that we have, and really next to no logic. And they're surrounded by all this temptation at every turn for them to do messed up stuff, through social media. So it's like the perfect recipe for disaster. It's the perfectly calculated storm of how to just erode women's qualities in Western society. So you go out with a girl who's like 21, 22. She's on Snapchat. She's on Tinder. She's on Instagram. These are like multiple leeches on her body, sucking the life out of her and like turning her into a slut. Next time you go out with a girl and you see that she's on Snapchat, Instagram, Tinder, whatever, these are just like little poisonous leeches on her body, The only way for it to work with a woman these days, you'd have to get a woman that comes from like a small farm village and doesn't use social media, is completely against it, and was raised by like her grandparents to be like a loving traditional woman. That's the only way you could get a good woman these days. And there isn't enough of those to go around. The average woman, every woman I meet has at least one form of social media, if not Facebook, if not Twitter. Not even Twitter's not even so bad, but actually for women, yeah, it is. So yeah, if not Facebook, if not Twitter, if not Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder, they have at least one of these little leeches on their bodies, if not 4 or 5 of them. So it's really next to impossible, honestly. Post 2008. And that's really just it, guys. That's really just it. Unless you're gonna go to some farm village and find some woman that doesn't use technology and was raised to just be like a traditional woman, you're always gonna have other guys in her ear, swaying her and tempting her to have an affair with them, and and other guys for her to monkey branch to. Oh, this guy on Instagram looks like he's doing good. Maybe I should just send him a message. And I've had girls with boyfriends message me because I seem better than their guy and try to monkey branch while they still have the boyfriend. It's crazy. All because social media makes it so easy for them to do that. So that's really just the message of the story, guys. After social media came out and these reality shows, it was just the end of it. Women died after 2008.